The rise of coronavirus has resulted in more people using apps like Zoom, which has introduced many to the concept of green screen. I'm going to show you some cool effects and color key methods that will totally freak out the people you're talking to.
Firstly, it's important to understand that color keying isn't replacing the green background with another, even though it seems that way. What's actually happening is the computer is making certain colors transparent, so the layer behind can show through. The crucial factors are the color of the screen, the colors of the foreground, the background you're using, and the color tolerance of the key. This last factor determines how tolerant the app is of different shades of the key color, i.e. whether it selects a narrow or a wide range of greens to make transparent. Although this is something you can adjust in an app like Premiere, After Effects, Final Cut Pro, Zoom is a bit limited here, so you'll have to use a couple of workarounds, which I'm going to show you. The other thing to consider is that you don't actually have to make the key color green. Any solid color that isn't your skin tone or what you're wearing will do. Green is the best because it's the most different to any natural skin tone, so we'll use green. And by the way, I made this film using not only my laptop camera, my phone and a DSLR, but also a Canon XM1 Mini DV camera and a Sony V600 Hi8 camera. Why did I do that? Well, it's interesting to compare all the different video images, from analog to digital to high def, but other than that, I have no explanation. It wasn't strictly necessary for the film, I'm just a camera geek. Maybe I'll talk about the camera some more in a future video. So let's begin. Phase 1 is making a green screen. Take it away, me.
So, you are going to need to go to a fabric shop and buy some of this, which is a bright green polyester. In this case, I got polyester because it was the cheapest thing. It was about £1.50 a metre, which is well cheap. And it is, as you can see, slightly transparent, but it doesn't really matter. It's even a bit shiny, which green screens absolutely shouldn't be. But that doesn't matter either, because it still works. If you can find matte screen material, all the better. But I went for cheapness. And cheapness that gets the job done is exactly what you want. You need two bits, really. One is for you and one is for your background. The background, you get about, so that 3 meters will do it. And for this is about 1 meter square. And I've cut a slit in it, as you can see. The slit is so that you can get this over your head like a poncho. Like that. With the short bit behind you, because that's not going to be seen. And then you've got your kind of green bib like this. Okay, so other than looking like a cult leader or a cult follower, you are all set. Now, not only do you need your green poncho, you need your background behind you. And that's what I've done over here. So here's what I've done. I have got some of this green polyester, and I have put a bar between 2 light stands, and the polyester just hangs below there. And although it looks a bit makeshift and a bit shiny and everything, it does actually work pretty well. So altogether, you've got something like this. Be good enough to achieve a green screen on everything except your head.
As an addendum, here's an experiment I did using a portable screen out of some plastic piping and some thick paper painted green with a hole cut out of it. It did work, but proved a bit difficult to hold in place, so I gave up on that little avenue. I do realise, of course, that there are green screen products you can buy, so you don't have to do all this palaver, and by all means go out and buy the stuff you want. But this is the Zero Budget Film School, and the closest you can get to zero is your local fabric shop. Okay, so you've made your green background and your green poncho. Now start up Zoom, and select New Meeting. You don't have to be connected to anyone else, you can configure everything in a Zoom room all alone. Go to the little arrow next to Stop Video and select Choose Virtual Background. At the bottom of the pop-up window, there's a little coloured square, usually green. This is crucial. If you click on it, your mouse pointer becomes a crosshair symbol inside the preview window. This is where you'll be able to select your key colour, and for the best results you should click on the green screen colour behind you. Of course, you can choose any colour, including your own face, to make a reverse key, We'll be fiddling around with this later. Now, here's the clever bit. To get around the lack of picture control in Zoom, I made a thing. For this, I used a simple booklet of colour filters. These are great fun. I got mine free at a photo trade show, but they can be bought online for less than £5. I cut out little squares of a variety of colours. There were hundreds of colours of gel to choose from, so to start off, I just chose as wide a selection as I could. Then I bent a piece of wire, fixed a strip of cardboard to it, using Tesa precision masking tape. I could make a whole video about how good this tape is, even though they're not sponsoring me. Seriously, get a roll of this stuff, you'll thank me later. Anyway, with cardboard, wire, gels, and Tesa precision masking tape, I made this. It sits on top of my laptop screen and can slide over the laptop camera, tinting the picture a variety of colours. This, along with the green screen and Zoom's colour key picker, will be the basis of our cool effects. But first, we need some backgrounds. And I'm not talking about Zoom's pre-installed library. Don't use these. Everyone has them, and using them will just mark you out as unoriginal. Make your own, or else steal from some good sources. Here's a few I stole. The Sun Baby from Teletubbies, the Stargate from 2001, some classic Doctor Who title graphics, and a still from Return of the Jedi. Then I got a bunch of library effects that included explosions and fire, especially this footage of a burning torch. Render it as an MP4 and import it into Zoom as a background. Now the fun begins. If you're wearing your green poncho and have the Zoom key color selected right, you'll become a floating head. This in itself is cool enough to place on a background, but by fooling around with different colored gels, you can affect Zoom's keying ability and make your face semi-transparent, or else tint it to blend better with the background, as in the case of the Jedi Force Ghosts here. If you go to the Zoom video settings and click Advanced, then uncheck Enable Hardware Acceleration for Video Processing, you can make the border of the key softer. Slide the coloured gels over your laptop camera and find which works best with the background. You can also reselect the key colour for an additional control variable. By adjusting the position of the flaming torch video and selecting an orange filter, I got this amazing effect. With my face orange and semi-transparent, you can see the flames through my face as well as around it. I look like the Balrog from Lord of the Rings. But the best is yet to come. I filmed myself in front of a standard background, the classic bookshelf that a lot of people have behind them. Then I filmed the bookshelf on its own. Then I layered the shots and used the crop tool in Premiere Pro to remove my head. Then I put these stock footage blood spurts in between the two layers and created this rather grisly background. With my floating head placed on top, all looks normal until...
Right by itself. So next... Oh, shit! Okay, just a minute.
The footage you see here was from an exploding cinema show that I presented recently, and I'll let myself talk through the effects to the admiring audience.
I call this the lens of truth. Okay, because what you see behind me is actually not Sir Alec Guinness. What is that? That is what's actually going on. So if I put it right up to the camera, there we go. See, it's just me in front of a green screen. Yeah, isn't that mental?
That's really cool.
Finally, remember, a green screen effect doesn't even have to use a screen. You can make any part of any picture transparent, so that you can make a blue sky into whatever time of the day or night you like, or you can key out your own face instead of the screen and get some really fancy shit going. You can put the green fabric on your head like a balaclava, wrap it around your hair. Go nuts!
So there you go. Cool Zoom effects that cost me about £6 for some green fabric. Now you see what can be done. I don't want to see yet another unoriginal or crappy key effect from any of you. Get it good enough and people will be distracted from the fact that you're talking rubbish half the time in these meetings. So see you later for whatever I'm up to. I may go back to Super 8 for a bit, or I may go forward with some other lo-fi video effects. Apparently, VHS is the new Super 8.